So this is our domicile here in Tucson. La Posada. These are the gardens between the buildings, which you're looking at. On the other side there is a 3-story motel. But that's not where we're staying. We're staying in this little casita, C2. Really neat place. It's got a patio in the front, patio in the rear. How's them apples? Let's go in.
Done nothing wrong.
Of course, you got to have a big TV with Fox News on it. But other than that, we had a nice galley kitchen, refrigerator, so we can do our own cooking. In fact, last night we delied, got sandwiches and rolls, and it's great. This is the lady of the house. Right now she's farting.
I'm what?
Farting.
That's the German word for hungry.
Gotcha. You know too much. That's your trouble. And so this is our rear patio. And it's got a lot of privacy. There's shrubs on either side. Actually, there's shrubs on all sides. This side to the east is all flowered. Unusual day in Tucson. It's overcast. Look at that. Cloudy. But it makes for some perfect weather. It's 8 o'clock in the morning and it's 72. It's great. Well, now here's a stroke of luck. I was just standing in the middle of that little patio outside. Came in, sat down, and the sprinklers went on. I would have been right in the middle of that just a couple of minutes ago. What a lucky guy. This is going to be my day. Yeah, this is the pool area, and you can see the Santa Catalinas in the distance. Not quite sure if that's Mount Lemmon or not. I think it is. Out there in the second floor. Sanavir Tobac, 400-year-old. Gosh, I think it might be more than that. 450, 16th century. So there's never been a clear explanation as to why that second tower was never finished. Lost in time.
This smaller door within the door, you can kind of see in the bottom the footsteps of history there. And with that, come in and we'll get started on the main part of the church. From the days that this was a church, we have about 15 years older than the church itself. We have an important portrait here. This is a portrait of St. Francis de Javier, the St. Church in Southern California, and thousands of people travel through on their way to gold fields. They opened it up on cold winter nights so that they could camp here. Arizona can get surprisingly cold in January and night. And they let them camp. The 49ers were not so respectful of church. In the 1990s, when they were doing the restoration of the church, they had some debate. Some people wanted to cover this completely because it was not here in 1797. But 1849 is pretty old, so they decided to kind of disguise it so it doesn't jump out at you the way graffiti would if it had been left black on white. But you can clearly see it if somebody points it out to you. And the funeral was in July. The second day was body was out. So they would keep it out in the funeral color, bring it in here for last rites, and we let them really practical. And they started to speak all the ancient languages of the Bible. Hittite, Jordanian, Egyptian, and the symbol of God's. But here's Judas with his bag of silver. And hardly ever will you see the devil. You come down to the bottom of the brown curtain, two red eyes and a red smile. I think the Franciscan idea would have been no matter where you are, the devil is always over your shoulder trying to get you to do the wrong thing. I'll stay right here because I think there's some people hanging around for a while. The front altar is the most magnificent part. And what that is it's a Franciscan view of heaven. So on Sunday morning, their message would have been, we want you to convert and become a Catholic. Because if you're a Catholic,
Cute for a ranch.
I don't think they'll fit, Gene.
Oh, look at the wheels on. Remember that? I bought that here.
Maybe. Somebody's got good taste.
Friday night again, I guess, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Are they gonna play Kentucky?
I don't know, really.
Yeah, I'm not for sure.
Tumacocori.
Hmm?
No, we're not going over there touching stuff. No. That's not happening. Oh. What? You want me to hold you again now? Yeah. Because I will lift you up.
food to survive the winter.
Right.
Yeah. Although they picked a really nice spot here when you compare maybe
This
the
is-
natural
this-
springs here, or
The month of March is when the whole desert is in bloom.
yes. So the first
Yeah, they need some rain.
This year they certainly do. Well, actually, the last couple of years.
this is, I mean, when you think
So what do you suppose that is? For rent, cheap. Tombstone, here we are. So this is our domicile in Havasu City, Lake Havasu City. It's a nice little suite called Island Suites. It's the living room area. Fox News.
Coming in, try to get the story in.
Directly out the window is a nice,
Facts should drive the media coverage.
I don't know what it is. It's a bush with flowers. No idea what that is. Probably some plant that gets along in the desert. King size bed, of course. Very nice.
Howard Kurtz, Fox News, Charlottesville, Virginia. A law enforcement.
spikes up there really keep the birds off.
You went right for it.
I'll be around here. You don't have to come back here. Here's how fun. Let's take a little so I get put the money back in my pocket. Something like that. Probably a cool job.
Nice eye. Wait, are you
What time does it leave? $185 and you can't get on here? Is that what is that weight limit?
Not a weight limit, weight calculation. It used to be 150, and then they would take the capacity of the boat divided by 150, and that's how many passengers. Now they're using 185.
Where my passengers are from. How about you three ladies?
Michigan.
Michigan.
Holy, totally not. What the hell do they take away? That's good, huh? Why are you doing a little spinning? Now what's the vent? What put the water to it?
I wonder if it's the way he swings his body.
No, it comes out of the back. It comes out of the back of the truck. You just gotta get really good balance. But yeah, you know, he's trying to get people to, you know, sure they run out.
Yeah, I asked that young man, I says, isolated, unlike it is today. In 1957, a gentleman named Robert Paxton McCulloch came to this area. At that time, he had just purchased the Scott Atwater Outboard Motor Company, and he was going to build the McCulloch outboard. He actually thought this would be a great place for a new community, and he scoped out a 26 square mile piece of property here along the shores of Lake Havasu. Bureau of Land Management to do some trades so that Arizona would have, when the auction was announced at the Kingman Courthouse, the only people there to bid on this property was Mr. McCulloch's representatives, offering them a 3-day, 2-night stay, all expenses paid. But he did ask these passengers to put down a $500 deposit range. Down here at the waterfront, we have the Rotary Community Park. The Rotary Club in the 1980s donated $100,000 to make improvements. Down to the south of the city, we have the Aubrey Hills peeking up over there. That's home to a lot of recreational activity. Sarah Park is there. Sarah Park has a venue for rodeos and auto racing. The Winter Blast is held there now, where the Western Pyrotechnics Association will show the latest in fireworks every winter. In the 40s, He also did some surveying for the Army out here as well. Then in the Civil War, the officer lost his life at the Battle of Chancellorsville. And to remember that cavalry officer, they named this mountain range the Whipple Mountain Range. Between us and the boats up there, canyon wall we have here on our left, lots of volcanic activity. Of what one of the passengers called the face of a gorilla looking back at us, a couple eyes and a wrinkled nose and mouth. Boats will make it all the way to the back, have a little private area back there. I can jump, that's still dangerous enough. We've had loss of life there in the past. Blocking the path in and out. Water goes as far to the east as Tucson, and the California portion of that water goes down to Los. Well, folks, you're going to get a pretty good view of the London Bridge if you care to look that directly. Lighter than the original 22 million pounds of solid granite block because it's no longer a solid granite bridge at this time. The engineers building this bridge on the dry land knew that they could build the core of the bridge with reinforced concrete, making it a hollow center, a lot lighter than the original bridge. So they only brought about 25 to 30% of the original bridge here to give us the exterior granite blocks that made up the bridge. You might all remember the story of Napoleon meeting his Waterloo. The English defeated Napoleon in 1850, so they're here as a tribute to the victory of Waterloo, and now it's here in Havasu City. I find that pretty amazing. On the granite, that damage was caused by the attack on London, the numerous attacks on London during World War II. That's where some of the wing guns, yeah, you can see where it almost looks like a BB gun hit your windshield, except it was probably a 20 millimeter.
Bombs away.
Once it's going, and it's so slick. It takes a while to build up this.
Wow. Holy cow. There she is, patiently waiting while I go through this B-17. What a girl.
Loss, you know, that sort of thing. But when you consider that it was crewed by a number by 10, that's 70,000 people who were.
Just wondering where that airplane has been all these years.
England, 1944.
Every Wednesday night for years. Another P-51. But this baby is a Lockheed Vega passenger plane. Probably held half a dozen people. Old Stinson. Cabin plane. It's like the Beach Stagger wing, only it only has one wing. Actual steering wheels. Oh, what the heck you are steering. But not going in circles.
Japanese thought unaware the embarrassment of a success victory that would prove a pivotal turning point in the war.
I will say that really, seriously, when we talk about this raid, the only reason you
That is one big son of a bitch. Jeez.
thousands of sorties have been since and all the war since.
This guy has been laying here for hours. I don't know why somebody doesn't help him. Good Lord.
The mosquitoes. Just, we like Wisconsin. I love Wisconsin.
I love Wisconsin. It's such a beautiful place. Wonderful people. No, I love it there, and I've always been blessed that every time I've gone to Wisconsin, it's been perfect. Everybody's like, okay, well, it's not like this normally, Michelle.
Oh, no.
It's always been like that when I was here, except for last January. I didn't like it in January.
Oh, my God.
Won't go back in January ever again.
Who did we call? Oh, I called Jim. Called him this week. Said, how is it there? And he said, it's snowing.
Oh, my
I think
gosh.
it was the day before last. He said, it's 30 here, and it's snowing, and it's sticking.
Mm-hmm.
I went, oh, it's spring. It can't be.
Right. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. All the trees that were back there, we took out the palm trees just because of different reasons that we had to. And we just finally planted plants here in November. We couldn't have done this when we had...
Back there?
No, this is all, they call it desert preserve. And according to the ordinance of the Homeowners Association, they'll never build back there. Yeah, no, it's, you know, eventually we don't need this house anymore. We don't need the space, but neither one of us can imagine leaving. It's such a beautiful
That's
place.
how we are, you know, with our home. Think, but girls too. And they had 2 daughters between them. And one died very young. She was 27 and she was shot. She was a teacher and she was shot. Him. And they were at a bar and he got into a fight with a bartender and they were struggling for the gun.
So your father lost a wife at a young age and a daughter?
Oh, and then my sister died, the one who was a year older than I. She died of a blood clot. She was pregnant.
Manufacturer that you represent, do they come to visit you at the office? I said, no, really, almost never, unless they just want to use a fax machine or something, because faxes were big back then, you know. And he said, what about customers? And I said, only you when you want to come for a cigar, and otherwise nobody ever comes by. He said, well, how much does that office cost you? I said, well, it's about everything inclusive, about $1,600 a month.
I suppose you think this is not taking a video.
It's not taking a, so the red light that I see is
just a fake.
Just ignore the red light. There is no red light.
Well, it's actually capable of, I mean, it's dark and it's reflected off the fireplace, but the video.
We don't. No, we wrote a couple of days off for you guys. I mean, we have the one meeting tomorrow. Guys coming in from, I don't know, Montreal or something to interview us, and that's...
Because we needed another line.
Yes, for another new line.
Yeah.
So we have that meeting. That's the only thing